Vincenzo's Go Crypto Investing, where you like, subscribe, and most importantly, hit that bell notification for all your breaking news, coin updates, blockchain technology, and information and laws and regulations as we head into the cashless society, as I'm being repeatedly censored and suppressed by the powers that be that are trying to restrict this information. So it's very important to push us through the YouTube algorithm. Hit that like button, comment down below, hit the bell notification, and share this channel far and wide to stay up to date on all the breaking news.
Vincenzo'S Go Crypto Investing, and you can see here the U.S. dollar in green. Remember when we were doing the updates, and we've been following this where we had our first top here at about 109 and change, and then we had our second top here, and then we came down a little bit, and a bullish consolidation, right? It looked a lot more in the bigger time frame, but we've maintained bullish consolidations above these moving averages, and you can see this. And I think we're on our way up towards the 120 spot 909 range over the next 3 to 6 months, and it could actually accelerate to the upside quicker, as ever since the Fed started tightening back in January and actually doing it, you can see the dollar's been on quite a tear. The dollar was sitting down here at 101 leading up to the first rate hike after it came off its 89 low when the Fed started giving dates when they would start. But you can see it's moved up about 10% since they started tightening, and I could see how it could get up to the 120 at minimum, all the way up here in the next few months, as the Fed, like they talked about, will continue to tighten until inflation gets back down to 2%, and right now it's sitting at 8.3%. So that's a long ways away. You got the 30-year, you got the overnight Fed rate at about 3.25% right now, and you have just over an 8.25% inflation rate. Your real yields are still almost 5% negative, right? So that's a big, big spread. That's a big, big negative print. And the only way to get that to start coming down is to get the overnight Fed rate over the price of inflation. Meaning, if you have inflation at 8.25%, you need to have interest rates at 9 or 10%. Then you'll have a positive real yield, and then that can start to tame inflation. But until then, it's just like putting a Band-Aid on a decapitation, right? It's not going to do anything. It's just for show and to try to make people feel like you're actually doing something, but it's not doing anything. The patient has died, and a Band-Aid on a decapitation is just not going to help anything. But you can see what's going on here in the Bitcoin price. As we just give you a quick evening update, you're still sitting below this $19,000 level, and as long as you're below that, your 16,598.54 is in play. But if you can break above this, and we'll zoom in a little bit closer into the 3-hour time frame, if you can break above that key area, you could try to make a run up here at some of these higher levels, right? You're down here right now. If you can break above this critical area, you'll quickly come up into this range at about the $20,000 range. And then if you can breach that, you could try to come up all the way up into here at the 24 to 27,000, just below this major blue resistance box up here that I think you would get resisted at if the price does end up coming up there. But that's what we're going to watch out for as we head into a Friday's future close and into a thinly traded weekend. If this bullish action can continue, this could be the time that Bitcoin has a nice 10 or 15% rally from its suppressed state, just like XRP has. But in the short term, this $19,000 level is your critical level that you need to be paying attention to. Is the critical level that you need to be paying attention to see if you're going to break bullish or bearish. Because if you break below this 19.3, you likely come down to 16. But if you can break up, 27 to 30,000 is more than definitely in play. If you look at Luna Classic, you can see it's still sitting on that elongated neckline now, right? You see this? This is what we've been looking at. We have this blue neckline that as long as you can hold above that, you can sort of remain short-term bullish. But if you break below that, you're going to start to test these lower levels. The first one at a descending fib circle that's sitting at about a bunch of zeros. Man, this sun is very bright. A bunch of zeros, 19 or 18, 938. And then your major overhead underneath support is this, whoa, shit, couldn't see that, is this orange line. Couldn't see that with the fucking sun. It's this orange line down here at about point a bunch of zeros, 14,105, right? So that's what that's looking like in Luna. And right now you're threatening to finally come down below this blue support level that's kind of got a left shoulder right in here, the big head, and then an elongated miniature right shoulder. And we're threatening to break down below this critical area of support. And if you do that, the price would likely come to the downside. If we look at Ethereum real quick, you can see Ethereum is trying to bounce off. Ethereum is trying to bounce off of this blue support zone, and it tried to initially here, got rejected, came back down again, and now we're getting supported up again. And your 1494.76 is your initial overhead resistance, and then your secondary resistance is up here at this red area. Fuck, dude, this sun is crazy. Is up here at about I can't see what that says. I'm getting blinded. Up here at about 1,700 and change, and then your lower support is 1,080.49 cents at the bottom part of this blue support zone. And then if we on this video out with XRP, you can see we're getting ever so close to that 50 cent major upper resistance on that blue resistance box up there. And this is where I think XRP is going to start to run into some heavy overhead resistance. As if you make it into this blue box is major overhead resistance, and it'll act as such as you start to run up against it, which you're currently about to run up against it. And that's the major area of resistance I'm paying attention to, because on a rejection, you'd want to stay above the uptrending moving averages coming up from the bottom of your screen by about that 37 cents. And that's an area that you would have to stay above in order to keep bullish, would be these moving averages that with our industry exclusive drawing tool real quick, these moving averages that are right here, they're going to be uptrending like this, right? You get an uptrending moving average, and then you can get a price consolidating back down on it like that, and you can continue to the upside, right? So that's something I'm going to be watching out for as we come up into this heavy overhead resistance that we're running into after about a 65% pump from your swing lows at the red support box, and now we're coming up into the major overhead resistance at that blue resistance box. Like, subscribe, and share to Vincenzo's Gold Crypto Investing. Peace and love. Peace and love.